So welcome everyone, and thank you Roshan and Dr. Kumudu and all of you all. So welcoming all of you for today's session. So ideally we were supposed to meet today. No, today was a physical meeting. So how can we make this happen now? I know so everybody is in front of a camera. Do you think everybody can switch on their cameras and get the official photographer to take a photograph?
Pujit, I think we'll have to take one at the starting and at the ending as well.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see whether. I will.
You'll have to remove your presentation so that we can see everyone.
Right. Okay. So I'll just stop share. So let's see whether we can get a.
Shall I capture?
Yeah. So I think there are a few more. So there are 25 participants. You can get more cameras on. That would be ideal.
So if
it's supposed to be a physical meeting, let's make it happen as a almost physical.
So if everyone is comfortable, switch on the cameras so that we can see who you are.
It's only the upper part. The cameraman is satisfied with the view. Go ahead.
Not yet. 50% it's blank.
See, you just need to ask.
Razin, okay, Razin, Riaz, Dylan, Frederick, Sisin, Tamashi, I don't know who is on the Galaxy A30, Geetma, and Tisha, we know that you are from workout.lk. Just for, okay. Okay, let's take one.
Cameraman is happy with the output.
Yeah, just take capturing it.
See, it's all revolve around your mind, nothing else. Even though you are not met physically, you're trying to make it physical as possible.
Okay, hold on.
Right. Okay, great. Thank you, Johan. So welcome everyone. So, and I really appreciate all of your presence in terms of this today's session. So all of you can see the screen, no? So just give me a sort of a yes, by someone.
Yes.
Right. Thanks. Yeah. So we'll try to make this as a dialogue. Copy make a සුහද සාකච්ඡාවක් ස්වරූපයකට ගෙනියන්න බලමු පුළුවන් තරම්. මොකද අපි හැමදාම හැම එක්කෙනාගේම ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. මමත් තාම ඉගෙන ගන්නවා. ඒකින්ද let's try to make this as a sort of a dialogue, and my request is just to take a pinch of salt from this today's session and with you, share with your employees, share with your family, share with your customers whenever it is relevant. So that's only sort of request. If you can make that, then probably you did a justice by attending today's session. So have an open mind. Just have an open mind. Let and allow most of the possibilities pour into your mind. Don't have anything, preconceived things for the next probably around half an hour. Just be free and just let things pour into your mind, and end of the session you decide what you want, how it can benefit you for your future growth. So Tirini said good evening. Okay, I didn't say anything, but I'm saying good morning to Entrepreneurs Lanka. Why I say good morning? Probably it must be wandering your mind. Have I got it wrong? Or is it just a statement. So what I would like all of you to think is, as I mentioned in the previous slide, be open-minded. Okay. So most of the times in the morning, we do a lot of things which is really give us energy. Everything starts from the morning. So normally in the evening, it's getting dark, and in the night, when you say good night, everything closing down. So I would like all of you to think, how can you make most of the time in your day as a good morning time? Do you remember when you get up in the morning, you get into that WhatsApp group and send that message, good morning everyone, are we ready for today's the activities? And it's so much of energy coming in the morning, but you don't get the same thing the latter part of the day. So I don't have a scientific evidence, is it good or bad, but I know good morning has a lot of energy, a lot of power. So it's good to have more good mornings throughout the day. So be open-minded, as I told you. Don't think it's right or wrong. Just have an open mind in terms of how do you see the rest of the day. So if you can make it good morning, it's a good start. And also the Entrepreneurs Lanka is just kicking off. And so let's make it as a beginning rather than the latter part of the day, which is like almost closing down. So this is my first statement in terms of for you all to think how to make yourself good morning throughout the day. If you really see today's environment, you see a lot of doubts, a lot of red lights. And why do you think this the mindset is a prevailing topic? Because if you go out, if you talk to most of the people around us, most of the times what we hear is problems, challenges, things which is really draining you down. That is very unlikely you will hear things which is positive. So what will happen in a day, if you speak to around 10 people, if 8 of them talks to you about things which is negative, which is draining your energy, you must be a hefty guy. You must be a person with a, you must be going to the gym. Your arms and muscles must be really strong. But if you're bombarded with a lot of negative thoughts, it's hardly, unless you think about your mindset, the only way that you could sort of make up your day or make up your journey to a better place is giving a little bit of more strength to your mindset. So as I told you, I'm looking for a dialogue on this. I would like any comments. How do you think? What do you think about most of the days? You just spent probably last few weeks. Do you think you get a lot of positive vibes, negative vibes, or is it a balanced vibe? What do you think? I would like to get some feedback from the audience.
If you can raise your hand, I can unmute yourself because I have muted everyone.
අපිට මොනවාද හිතෙන්නේ අපේ වටා පිටා මේ දවස්වල අපිට ඇහෙන්නේ ගොඩාක් සෞභාග්‍යමත් දේවල්ද ගොඩාක් කරදරකාරී දේවල්ද මොනවාද හිතෙන්නේ? අපිත් ඒ වලට ඇදිලා යනවද නැත්නම් අපි ඊට වඩා විරුද්ධව හිතනවද? I think there is some chats are coming up.
One is saying it's more negative than positive.
Negative than positive.
Yeah, I think overall, Pujita, what we hear is from the news or whatever, it's more negative towards businesses, no? That's what we are hearing.
So we are hearing, are we accepting it or not is something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we hear a lot of negative things. අපිට ගොඩාක් ඍණාත්මක දේවල් ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට අපිට ඇහෙනවා. ඒක අපිට නවත්තන්න බෑ. ඒකට අපේ පිටින් අපේ මීඩියා එක තියෙනවා. අපි කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරන්න නැති ගොඩාක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිව ඒ පැත්තට අද ගන්න. ඉතින් අපි බලමු කොහොමද ඇයි අපිට මේක කොහොමද අපි ඕවර්කම් කරන්නේ? How can we sort of come out from this? Is මේකේ 아무තු මැජික් එකක් තියෙනවද? නැත්නම් මොකද්ද මේ ඇයි අපිට මේක මේ මයින්ඩ්සෙට් එක කියන එක ඇයි මෙච්චර වැදගත් වෙන්නේ? So මම ආයෙසරයක් ඇහුවොත් ඕගලන්ගෙන් what is your mindset? What's your emotion towards mindset? ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් ඕගලන්ගේ දැන් මනස ගැන නිකන් හිතුවොත් මේ සති ගානකට ඔයගලන්ට ඇහිච්ච කතා කරපු දේවල් අනුව මොනවාද සාමාන්‍යයෙන් හිතන්නේ ඔයගලන්ගේ අර සිතුවිලි මොනවා වගේද? මම මේක කැලි හතරකට කඩලා තිනවා. ඔයගලන්ට හිතෙන්නේ මොනවා වගේද කියලා. බලමු අපි මොන පැත්තටද යන්නේ කියලා.
Confused,
Confused.
worried, confused and worried actually.
Confused and worried. Okay.
Sometimes the mind always telling that you are a little bit tired with the weather condition, because the temperature is really high. Sometimes you will feel like if you go out, you will feel like you are tired. So it's not only physically, the mentally also it's feel like that.
Okay.
So people are stressed without any reason for fake news.
Okay. So people are stressed without any reason, of course, yeah. So these are the emotions. අපි එළියට දාන්නේ අපේ emotions වලින්. අපි එකක් ඔළුවේ එකක් වැඩ කරනවා, හැබැයි අපි එළියට දානවා. So generally if you see, probably මේ categories හතරට ඔයගලන්ගේ emotions වැටෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේ categories හතරට. Sad, අපිට දුකයි. මොකද්ද මේ COVID ඒ situation එක. Sometimes you get mad. කේන්ති යනවා. වෙනදට වඩා අපිට ඕන විදිහට ගොඩක් දේවල් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේම glad. සමහර වෙලාවට හොඳ දේවලුත් වෙනවා. අපිට මේ සමහරක් ඉන්ඩස්ට්‍රීස් තියෙනවා හොඳටම perform කරන කිසිම මේ සිටුේෂන් එකත් එක්ක මේ current prevailing condition එකත් ඒ වගේම තමයි අපිට බයකුත් හිතෙනවා scared. ඉතින් ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මම හිතන්නේ අපිට තේරෙන්නේ නැති වුණාට we probably must be falling to one of these areas. මේ categories හතරකින් එකකට ගොඩාක් වෙලාවට අපිව වැටෙන්න පුළුවන්. අපි මෙතනදි තේරුම් ගන්න ඕනේ අපිට මේ වගේ දෙයක් වෙනවා කියලා. අපි හැමතිස්සෙම හිතන්නේ මේක මේ අපේ සිතුවිලි අතර නැති දෙයක් කියලා. මේක මේ completely අපිට පිටින් වෙන දෙයක් කියලා. But we need to realize this is happening within ourselves. We are falling to one of these things because of our mindset. So මේ situations, මේ emotions හතර control කරගන්නත් පුළුවන් only for us. So we are the one who can actually sad situation එකක් whether we can move it to a different situation, mad situation වෙන situation එකකට ගෙනියන්න ඒ power එකක් තියෙන්නේ අපේ ළඟම තමයි. හැබැයි the most of the times what we don't think is we don't realize that. So we hardly think that is nothing to do with us. It's something to do with a completely outside situation. So this is why the mindset is the most important in the current context. So as a business coach, what I do is I work with a lot of individuals, organizations in terms of, working with them in terms of how to get aligned to these new circumstances and get their mindset move towards for something positive. So in terms of, if you really think moving your mindset to a more positive environment, you have to do many things which starting from the word art. So I was able to find few words probably I think there is somebody's mic is on. So can mute that mic, that may be helpful.
Hello everyone, I have allowed access to unmute yourself because when Pujita asks a question, so you can respond. So until then you can mute yourself while Pujita is having the session.
Okay. So thank you, Shohan. So this is the ideal time, okay? If you're really looking for a growth and as an entrepreneur, even if you could be working for an organization, but this is the right time for you to think to restart. Maybe for you to think to refresh, reboot, refocus, readjust. Everything probably think completely new. So this is possible only, first of all, you need to get okay from your mindset. You need to get your mind okay to move forward. Because if you think all the other impossibilities, it's very hard to move forward. So because of the prevailing conditions around us, I know most of the entrepreneurs, small and medium entrepreneurs, are having a lot of challenges. But this is a good time for them to really think how that they could really think about, restart, refresh, reboot, refocus, and readjust. Not only themselves, it maybe their employees. So I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs. They say they know the main challenge that we have with our employees. They've been overwhelmed by the external environment, and it's very difficult to get them readjust. So there is a huge component where the mindset can make them a different person under these prevailing conditions. So I would like to sort of bring this one of my famous readings. There's a book called Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. So Dr. Carol Dweck says that in a growth mindset that the challenges are exciting rather than threatening. So rather than thinking, oh, I am going to reveal my weaknesses, you say, wow, here's a chance for me to grow. So this has been scientifically improved, scientifically tested, where the mindset has a huge bearing. So just to give a little bit of understanding. So she has done experiment. Where that ඉස්කෝලේ ළමයින්ට ටෙස්ට් එකක් දීලා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අර මාක් කරලා දුන්නාම ඒකේ ඉන්නවද එක සෙට් එකක් ඉන්නවා හොඳටම perform කරන. ඒ වගේම තව සෙට් එකක් ඉන්නවා ගොඩක් ටිකක් weak. දැන් හොඳට perform කරන අය grade සාමාන්‍ය හොඳට හම්බ වෙනවා. ඒ වගේම weak කට්ටියට දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි දන්නවා අපේ ඉස්කෝලේ වල දෙන්නේ අර F එකක් ඒ වගේ මේකක්. ඒගොල්ලන්ට දීලා තියෙන grading එක still not there. ඒ කියන්නේ තාම අර goal එකට ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ කියලා. මේක තමයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියෙන grading එක අර fail කියලා කියන්නේ නැතුව. ඉතින් මේක terms කීපයක් මේ කියන්නේ මේ ගොඩක් weak කට්ටියට මේ grading එක දීලා ඒගොල්ලන්ට help කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලන්ට help කරාම මේ terms කීපයක් යනකොට ඒ කියන්නේ grades කීපයක් යනකොට මේ අර ගොඩක් මේ දුර්වල කට්ටිය gradually they have moved to the same level of the children who are at the front line of the class. So what does this say? This says they have the capability, they have the talent. So it's a matter of really push them for them to think that they have the capability and the talent for them to move forward. So rather than saying that they are going to go further backwards, the teachers have encouraged them that there is a more possibilities for you to improve. So the same thing in the growth mindset, the challenges are exciting rather than threatening. So අපේ දැන් මේ current condition එක බැලුවත්, so if most of us can think the prevailing conditions are not as a challenge, but also that's maybe opportunity for us to grow. That's a that's a big way forward. So and also Dr. Carol Dweck said that the talent and intelligence can be improved at any stage in your life. Okay, talent and intelligence can be improved at any stage in your life. ජීවිතේ කියන්නේ අපේ වයස් සීමාව අපි කලින් පටන් ගත්තත් මැදදී පටන් ගත්තත් අන්තිමට පටන් ගත්තත් අපේ talent and intelligence කියන එක improve කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. මොකද අපි හිතනවානේ වයසට යනකොට අපි ඔක්කොම මේ ගොඩක් දේවල් අපෙන් යනවා කියලා. හැබැයි ඒකට වඩා ડોક્ટર කැරල් කියන්නේ ඒක ගොඩක් improve කරන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. මේකේ හොඳම case study එක තමයි මම දන්න හැටියට KFC story එක. So KFC story එක සැන්ඩ්‍රස් හොඳටම දන්නවා ඇති. එයා ඇත්තටම එයාගේ ජීවිතේ real breakthrough එක තේරුම් ගත්තේ අවුරුදු 65 දී. එතකන් එයා ජීවිතේ fail වෙලා ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මේකට හොඳම ඒ කියන්නේ උදාහරණය තමයි මම දැන් මම ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මම මේක පාවිච්චි කරන දෙයක්. තමාගේ age එක කවදාවත් ඒකට බලපානවා ගොඩක් අඩුයි. ඒක තමා හිතුවොත් මගේ mindset එකෙන් මට තව improve වෙන්න පුළුවන් කියලා. ඒක දිගටම ඒක improve කරගෙන ගියොත් අපි හිතන අපිට අවශ්‍ය තැනට යන්න තියෙන ගොඩාක් chances වැඩි. Right. So far how's everybody? Any questions? I can give just a little bit of dialogue with the team.
I do agree with that. What you said, it's the age, like when I just started trying to be an entrepreneur, I just started. So it's 6 months back. So until that, I had a dream to be an entrepreneur. which didn't work. So actually, COVID gave me that edge actually, because I had to resign from my job. So then I didn't have a job for about 6 months. So then I actually started being an entrepreneur. So yeah, I agree.
Thank you, Krishant, for being self-reflection. Thanks for that.
Any
Anyone
other
else?
questions we can take in? You all could also type in the chat box if you have any questions, or else you can raise your hand and Sohan will unmute you.
Right, okay. Let's move forward.
Yeah, we can move forward.
Right, okay. So, so there's another phenomena in terms of this, why this mindset is so important. So we called it, in a single word, we call it VUCA. That is, there's a lot of vulnerability and there's a lot of ambiguity, there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's a lot of volatility in our environment. Because in this current, it's very difficult to manage. It's very difficult to manage when it's vulnerable, because what happens is when it's vulnerable, you won't see that much of clarity. You get really puzzled, and in ambiguity, what will happen is it's too many unknown things. It's very difficult. It's very challenging. And complexity, what will happen is there's multiple decision factors. Again, අපිට හරි අමාරුයි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඉස්සර yes or no කියප එකට yes no maybe could be, there can be number of things. මේ දෙකම අපිට control එකේ තිබ්බත් හරි අමාරුයි මේ situation එකේදී decide කරන්න. ඉතින් මේකට හොඳම උදාහරණ හොඳම මේ ගැන එච්චර කොච්චර මේක වැදගත්ද කියන එක, if you really look at it, අපි දන්නවනේ අර Fortune 500 companies and Fortune 500 companies වලින් sorry, දැන් companies කීයයිද original 500 තිබ්බ list එකේ තියෙන්නේ. ඒ ගොඩක් companies දැන් completely they can කෙලින්ම මැකිලා ගිහින්. The companies ඒ අලුත් situations වලදී they were not able to cope up. And if you really look at the most of the highly performed companies, out of 30 companies, 14 of them are platform based companies. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒගොල්ලන් යම්කිසි technology එකක් base කරගෙන මුළු ලෝකෙටම serve කරන වගේ platform එකක් හදාගෙන තියෙනවා, because that's how they have seen the growth. I mean, if you look at most of the technology companies like Microsoft, Alibaba, and AWS, all these companies are, it's a platform based company. And if you look at the bigger players, currently they are not doing very well because of the pandemic, Airbnb, but Uber is doing very well. So all these companies are platform based company. ඒ වගේම තමයි මේකේ ලොකුම දේ තමයි there are so many new players. අලුත් කප්ටිය මේ මාකට් එකට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. දැන් මම මේක කියන්නේ looking at the world scenario, okay? But don't underestimate, as a companies in Sri Lanka, we can apply some of these things in our environment as well. Because just because you're a new entrepreneur, don't think that there are so many big players and we cannot make a bigger change in the market. That all depends on your mindset and how do you really look at in terms of your growth. So that has a huge bearing around that. So be mindful in terms of these 4 conditions. So I would like to ask from somebody, how do you think මේ conditions අතර කොච්චර ඔයගොල්ලන්ට බලපානවද? Complexity, volatility, ambiguity and uncertainty කොච්චර බලපාන ඇතිද ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ entrepreneur life එකට?
It will create like a negative mindset. I mean, there is an opportunity to create a negative mindset, and sometimes it will like if there is an entrepreneur and there is a possibility to take one step backward with facing these 4 factors maybe.
Mm-hmm. So Kumudu, what do you think? It's Kumudu, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kumudu, when you're so what can help you when you have these 4 conditions are overwhelming around you?
Yeah, this is actually creating a negative mindset. No? So then I have to create the environment to change my mindset as a positive mindset. So it's a kind of a challenge. Negative, change your negative mindset to positive mindset.
So you believe that mindset is the critical factor even when you face these four overwhelming conditions. That you believe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's definitely that is definitely something that everybody we need to realize. But hardly not everybody realize this. We think completely something else. When there's a complexity, we think there are multiple decision factors. We think it's completely because of so many external factors. So there is a lot of things that you can really turn into a different aspect when you think that as a person, I have so much of ability in terms of my mindset to change these areas. There are areas that you don't control, but definitely there are areas you control.
I think we have a question from Temia. Temia?
Right. If Temi is muted.
Unable to unmute. Just give.
All right,
Right. Hi. Thank you very much. I think what we lack is the knowledge to adapt to the new environment. I think we should all learn to adapt and always have a plan B in case if something serious like this happens.
Exactly. Yeah. So definitely that's also need a mindset change in terms of the adaptation. So we are confirming that mindset is becoming so critical in this challenging environment. Thank you, Temi. Right. So this is a bit of an old quote, but definitely this really resonates to me. This is World Economic Forum's founder and chief executive chairman at that time, Klaus, was saying this. In this, the new world, it is not the big fish which eats the small fish. It's the fast fish eats the slow fish. So it's very clear. In this, the new changing condition. So for the entrepreneurs, it's extremely important. That is, it doesn't matter how big you are, okay? Because more than the size of the company, it is who actually adapt to the new environment and move fast can make a breakthrough. The one who is not doing it. We are sometimes it's hard to believe, but there is a lot of evidence behind this. How fast that you could make those adjustments and move to the new environment and adapt to the new environment. So you need to be having a lot of urgency in these current conditions. It's extremely important. Does anybody has any examples or anybody facing this or capitalize on this?
Actually, for IT, I'm actually coming from IT industry as well. So then, with this current situation, most of the companies are trying to establish their business on IT platform. So then, as a IT company owner, so then I have so many opportunity to look in. So which just to move. Very fast and grab that opportunity to and establish and change my business what we call strategy. So that's what I think.
Superb reflection, Kumudin. Thank you for sharing that. So when the changes are happening in the market, you just change yourself and immediately adapt to that situation and move fast, irrespective of looking at your size of the operation, etc. So that's super.
Krishanta has a question. Pujita, Krishanta?
It's not a question, but what I feel from what Pujita said was like you can do two things in this kind of situation. Either you can sit back and worry, or either you can think in new ways. So as an entrepreneur, I think you need to find new ways. So I think you need to move fast. That's very important because there will be less opportunities. So you need to move fast. So you need to think in different ways when you're in this kind of situation. So that's my view on this.
Amazing, Krishant. I think that's a great reflection. Definitely, I think that sense of urgency has to come into place when you see the opportunities, and irrespective of looking around you, who is going to we always have this wait and see approach. So whether you take the wait and see approach, or whether you take a calculated risk and move forward.
I agree with Krishant actually, Pujita, because what is told with experience, which I have for last 20 years, I think you can sit back or you can drive in a different way. So I think you need to take that challenge as an entrepreneur.
Super. Thank you everybody for that amazing reflection. So this is just a sort of a supporting aspect for most of the new entrepreneurs, which I would like to share this. Okay, whether in terms of your entrepreneur journey, whether you really have a meaningful purpose. Okay, life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose. Most of us, we would love to be an entrepreneur, but what we lack is when we don't have a proper purpose in terms of our entrepreneur journey. So it's extremely important for you to have a purpose, especially for all our young entrepreneurs. So, and if you look at the current conditions, okay, the Peter Drucker said that the greatest danger in times of turbulence is not the turbulence, is to act with your yesterday's logic. So you think, you should be able to grow and prosper. But if you don't have a mindset in terms of thinking in this line and start adapting and changing, you become obsolete next to no time, and you have a lot of challenges to face. So as he's rightly said, it's not the turbulence, because we always complain all this environment, etc., is actually not providing the growth that we are looking for. But you hardly see that what you are doing differently in terms of bringing these new things to an environment. So then you need to forget about yesterday's logic and think about a new logic in terms of moving forward. Good. So this is good for you, all the young entrepreneurs who are here. So I just would like to emphasize one thing about purpose. Okay, what's my purpose? Okay, so my purpose as a business coach is to help individuals and organizations to unearth their talent in a growth mindset aspect. So as a business coach, that is my purpose. So I coach leaders, I coach employees, I coach organization in terms of the transformation. So I would like all the young entrepreneurs in this forum to just look at what exactly your purpose. So there's a lovely model called Ikigai. Okay, this gives a very simple model. Okay, this gives a lot of clarity in terms of finding your purpose. Okay, there are 4 aspects in the purpose, which is passion, mission, and profession, and the vocation. Initially, what I would encourage all of you to have a mindset in terms of looking for a purpose. Okay, rather than just no, I want to be an entrepreneur, and suddenly you wake up and do something because you get so much of information. But try to see whether you have a real purpose in terms of your entrepreneur journey. So it's very clear. If you have a passion and profession, you're almost getting there. The passion is that which you really love and something that you're really good at. So when these 2 combinations comes together, it becomes your passion. And also, you need to make money, of course, okay, which you can get paid for, also become a part of that journey. It's become your profession. So if you can roughly think that you have a mindset in terms of getting this formula right, you're almost getting your purpose aligned. Okay, so this apply, because I work with a lot of individuals who work for organization. Most of the time what happen is they don't have a purpose when they're working, or either they have a different purpose. So it's very difficult for them to align to organization goals when their purpose is completely going for a different direction. So I always tell them, find your proper purpose and align your purpose to the organizational purpose, and see whether you could have a sort of win-win situation in terms of your growth. So I'm sure, or sometimes I'm a little bit doubtful whether we all have a purpose. it took very long for me to find my real purpose. But it's good to question yourself, what exactly my purpose. So this model comes from Japan. For the people who live from Okinawa prefecture, who has a long life, but also purpose-driven life. This apply for business as well. So any of you all can take this and squeeze here and there and probably see whether you have a real purpose in terms of your entrepreneur journey. Lovely. Roshan, how long we have? Another?
Yeah, we can go for another 10-15 minutes.
Right, okay. Right. So let me throw a question to the audience. How many of you all disagree with this? So nobody disagree? Or?
I think everybody is agreeing with that.
Everybody has to agree with it.
Yeah. What's the one question that I came across? Purpose, like what you mentioned, should it be quantitative or qualitative? Like it should be a number, or like it should be like a vision statement, or?
So it's a way of life. So purpose is like, so now, I mean, in a very fancy way that it says like when you wake up in the morning, okay, if you don't feel like what you are doing during the day is not giving enough energy, then you need to question yourself whether you are aligned to a proper purpose driven, whether you are being really pushed towards a purpose that you really like. So it's a combination. Obviously, if you have the purpose right, you have your quantitative benefits. Because as I mentioned here, it's also something that it's viable for you, commercially viable. But you love to do something you're good at, but also you can make money. So it's a combination of that.
Combination of both. Okay. Yeah. There's another question came in, Pujita. You spoke about purpose. Do you think it's must or good to have? Is it a must?
Okay, so I'll answer that question in a very different way.
Okay.
So if you want to make your living more object driven, if you have a direction to go, then obviously you'll be very happy. I'm very focused about the entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs want to break through. They don't. They are trying to make their own empire. So I would say it's must to have a purpose, because when you have that purpose, it's about the growth and the prosperity of your entrepreneur journey. So that has a lot of benefits around that. So rather than having it, rather than not having it, will have negative repercussion. So it's good to have that purpose, because it's a very simple model. It's very easy to understand. And if you can make the let's of the attributes work for you, then the likely chance you're moving forward. I would say it's a must.
Okay, good. From the audience, any questions you all have, you could raise your hand or drop in a chat box.
Everyone can unmute themselves now and ask questions. I have
Just going back to your what do you call the first idea, the passion. I would like to talk about it. If you are an entrepreneur, you really need to have a passion, because that is which you love. I agree with you fully on that, because otherwise you cannot make your competencies coming out and to show performance or anything. You cannot go around. And I could hear somebody asking of qualitative and quantitative. Actually, in my experience, I said if you don't have a passion, you cannot quantitative or qualitative it.
Yeah.
So I agree with you in this. I think it's really amazing. Somebody can really drive himself or herself inside this cage. I think it will work for everybody.
My idea on that is like, if you don't have passion, even you work or you being an entrepreneur, you're good as a dead duck. So it has to be some passion that you should have. And for me, like if I'm put it in simple, every rupee you earn should give you some self satisfaction that you're moving forward. So if you're not getting that out of what you're doing, I mean, it's better you move on to another thing that gives you passion. Otherwise, it's not, you're not moving forward, or you're not doing anything valuable with your life. That's simple as that for me.
That's spot on, Krishant and Jeevan. I think so. One thing is entrepreneur side. The entrepreneurs definitely need to have a purpose, and also the bigger portion of that is the pillars of the organization, the employees. Just imagine that when you have employees who doesn't love what they do, and if they're not good at all, they're missing one part of that. So either you can fix it in terms of knowing that and make them to realize, probably adjust one of those areas, or otherwise what you can do is you can help them to exit the organization. Their passion maybe in somewhere else. So it's a good conversation, definitely. And during my coaching, I have experienced that immensely. The most challenging part is we hardly question about purpose in organizational context. We hardly question about this area. So I think as young entrepreneurs, and I think this particular network should look at in the way forward plan in terms of aligning to the purpose, the entrepreneur side, also the employees.
Let me add a little thing on that. Even if you're this is coming from a corporate personal experience, so you might find a guy whose purpose the purpose you gave him should align with what you give, the work that you allocate to him. So if you don't do that, if you don't identify the talent in that particular person, you might be losing a wonderful employee to your company. You first need to see what that person's talent is, and if you can fix him to a place where you can get the maximum out of it, I think that's better. The first thing that you need to do.
Agree, definitely. So
Pujita,
definitely.
can I also
Go ahead, Temi.
Yeah. Right. So what I feel is like entrepreneurs are like sharks. There's a Russian proverb: if the shark does not move forward, it drowns. So if we also do not move forward, we also will drown as entrepreneurs.
Definitely, I think that's a good sort of metaphor in terms of further amplifying that message. I think, as I think Krishant said, that the right leadership also need to get combined in terms of identifying talent and make sure that your the employees are aligned to the purpose and they have a passion towards the organizational growth. So that comes from the leadership, as Krishant rightly said, identifying that talent and put them in the right place. Or it could be even the different situation. And I have seen number of times, some individuals who are poor performer in organization A, when they move to organization B, they really become super performers under different conditions. So there can be number of permutation there. Thank you. I think it's very interactive. I think with the audience feedback.
Pujita, I think there is one question from the audience. Razin says, "Can I have an example for my interference?" But I don't know whether it's a question or a comment. Please,
right. Okay. I think the next one.
Okay.
Okay. So let's ask from the audience itself. Let's see, because it's about mindset. What does others think? What could be my own interference?
Well, I would say work from home for me. It's like I find a lot of distractions, especially working from home. A lot of resistance.
Okay.
compared to me working at an office.
Okay.
You must be knowing what I am saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I do agree with him, because I do also have that issue, because some jobs you can do from home, but some documentary jobs you can't do from home. And when your boss starts asking for you documents at home, and expectations go up, yeah, I agree.
So that could be one interference in terms of, sort of example. So sort of a bigger area that I would always say, like, we also, we in our culturally, we are very tuned to point the finger outside when there is challenges, when there are issues. So that is the time that you really need to reflect yourself and see, there's anything else I can do. Okay, so you know that when you point the finger outside, there are 4 fingers pointing at you, which we hardly think. Sometimes we trying to put the blame to things that we don't control. So these also could be your own interference when you really don't think through your mind, what are the possibilities I have, what else I can do, have I asked for help? So there can be number of things which may be contributing to your own interference. So when you have my potential means my full capacity, my talent. The funny part is sometimes we really don't know what is our talent is. I'll ask all of you all to do a small exercise. Okay, not now, later on. Identify your strengths. What are your strengths? So if I have to give the definition of the strength is something that you're good at better than someone else. Okay. I have done this exercise so many times. And what I see is a sundry list. Okay. So when you ask, so this is about myself. You need to question yourself what exactly your strength is. Okay. So one way that you can find your strength is you can ask from someone else. You can, ask from your spouse. You can ask from your closest friend. Sometimes they might tell you. So one of the way that you identify your strength is you just reflect a situation. Somebody told you, I think Roshan, you are really good at that, but you just forget it. When somebody said, you just forget it. Okay, it's just a random thought, but you completely forget it. But if you remember, if you take few of those thoughts, sometimes your strength may be hidden somewhere there. Okay, that's why there are so many successful people who really identify their strength, and they know, that they have that mindset in terms of going after their strength and further capitalizing. It's a good exercise to do. So great. Okay, so in terms of what you need to understand about the mindset is something very flexible. Okay, it's in your hand. It's like a muscle. Okay, you can either suppress it or you can either make it large. So it's very malleable. It's in your hand. So when you realize that your mind is something that you control and you have that capacity, just imagine if you get a piece of clay or to your hand, you can do anything you want. You can make any size you want. So just like the mind also and the brain also is something like that. It's malleable. So when you realize that it's malleable, you start thinking, why can't I do this? What are the possibilities here? Should I go and ask from my boss? Why can't I, think by myself and do something about this? So these type of thoughts come to your mind, but you need to realize it's not fixed. It's elastic. You can do wonders with your own mindset. So which is your brain. When you realize that, and when you have a proper purpose, things are getting really aligned. So you have a proper journey. Good. So we are almost. So one of my asks for all of you all is for your employees, anybody, which is impacting you, gaps and areas and improvements. Identify those things in terms of if you want to build up a strong mindset, and identify based on what we just discussed, what are the gaps and the areas of improvements. Just take baby steps. Don't try to make a long jump. Just make baby steps. It's what you required is 1% improvement each time. If you do weekly 1% improvement, that's also contributing. If you do daily 1% improvement, that make a huge contribution. Even if you do monthly 1% improvement, that's also contributing for your growth. Incremental improvements can make a difference.
Pujita, I would like to add a point. This is Tilini. I think another thing that we need to do is, while we are always striving to succeed and looking for positivity, there is quite a lot that you can learn from your failures also, or say your mistakes. I think certain things you should not dwell on. I mean, if you make a mistake, you shouldn't dwell on it. I mean, you shouldn't look back and always think about it and regret it, but you certainly need to look back at it at least once and understand what happened, what went wrong, how to correct it, and how to make sure that it doesn't happen again. The same mistake is not repeated, right? And so just wanted to add.
Yeah, that's thank you, Tildi, for that contribution. Yeah, definitely, as Tildi said, yeah, definitely when you make mistakes, you need to, it's not like doing a post-mortem, but your learnings out of that. So that can make a difference in terms of your future plans.
Yeah, sometimes the greatest ideas are generated when you hit the rock bottom, because you really start investing a lot of time to think creatively. And sometimes when you run out of time also, you start thinking creatively and find greater ways to achieve your goals and objectives. So
When you hit rock bottom, there is no way, you have to come up.
Absolutely, yes.
So if you're really in the bottom, there's somehow you struggle to come out. So definitely it's way up.
I think what my knowledge on that particular thing is, like, if you don't fail or if you don't get knocked down, you will never learn to get up back. So the more you get knocked down, the more you will come back twice hard as you can. So that's simple as that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's definitely Thank you. Lovely.
There's one more question that just came in. The question is, what could be possible reasons individuals don't think mindset is very critical?
Okay. So one thing is, as I mentioned earlier, okay, when you take the majority of us, okay, majority of people around us, they also work for a salary. Okay, when they work for a salary, what will happen is, what probably is happening, they think end of the month, the birthright is that they should get their salary and the life goes on. So their ability to think differently is very minimum, and they also in a very narrow-minded tunnel in terms of their way forward. So I draw back again to the purpose. When you have a purpose, okay, in your life, you shoot for bigger dreams. When you have a purpose in your life, you shoot for bigger dreams. Okay, then your ability of contribution to the organization and your own ability to grow is much more higher. So you will not settle for a less. You always try to see how I could go beyond that. So fundamentally, this also comes from, just to specifically answer that question, culturally from our education system as well. Okay, because we've been always taught to do. We have been given instruction, do this, do this, do this. Okay, think and do is very less. And this also carry after you leave the school, university, and when you can get into the commercial world also, I need to challenge most of the leadership in the corporate world as well. They also give the instruction to do that. Leadership the empowerment doesn't really exist. Now it is transforming, but if you really look at in most of the organization, it's not there. So always the subordinates is always do the upward delegation. They always ask from their boss what to do. And boss also happily say, do this, do this, do this. So it's very difficult to have that mindset in terms of, really changing themselves. But it's within you. So when you really realize that this is something that really impacting my own growth, then you start really blossoming and try to come out from that shell and really strike through in terms of your growth. So there are a number of things, contributing to that. But that realization is important, and try to break through. And definitely when you have a purpose, your chances are getting breakthrough from that shell is much more high.
Thanks, Pujitha. Shall we also give opportunity for anybody to ask in Sinhala Basawen Prashant Ahanna? Right. So let's see. Good Prashatibut Kianna. And also, Pujitha, just to one more question that came in. Maybe you can talk with that. How does coaching will help to overcome these challenges that you spoke about?
Right. Okay. So basically, coaching is in terms of harnessing individual potential. Okay. So why the coaching exists is in organization is most of the time what will happen is between the leadership and their subordinates, they are very operational. They are very operational in terms of day-to-day activities. So your manager will ask, have you done this? Have you done this? Have you done the sales target, etc. But really, they doesn't spend time in terms of coaching their employees. So during the coaching, what will happen is you have probing questions and you have different methodologies. You try to unearth the real problems the individuals have. So you try to find the root cause, why this person is having this challenge by questioning. So when you really ask, so one person said, I really don't know, I can't, meet my sales quota. But if you really question into the detail, you find that person must be having an issue with his time management. So you try to fix the root cause by coaching. So as a coach and a coachee, the coachee is the one who is getting coached, will have certain accountabilities. The person will promise, I will do these things, and a coach help to execute those things. So when this particular relationship happens, they start slowly improving in terms of the challenge they are facing. So this can happen in an individual basis, in a team basis, in an organizational basis. So this is how the coaching actually helps them. So coaching is all about harnessing their individual real potential. As a coach, that's what the coaches do in terms of bringing that out.
Thank you, Pujitha. Thank you very much. Any more questions from the audience? I think we are running out of time as well.
Right. Okay. I think we are on the last slide almost. Yeah. I can finish it. Right. So I would like to, leave these thoughts with all of you all. So as organizations, individual, if the rate of change outside exceeds the rate of change inside, that is the end of its side. If the rate of change outside exceeds the rate of change inside, the end is inside. So with that thought, as individuals, what you should be asking from your employees and your subordinate is always keep this thought, help me to help you. Just ask from anybody that you're dealing with, help me to help you. First of all, you need to understand, you need to have a mindset to help someone, but by understanding what exactly the challenge that person. So with that note, I think, thank you everyone for listening to the presentation and the interactiveness. And I really enjoyed that as well.
Thank you very much, Pujitha. Shall we give the audience one more question to ask? If you have any questions to ask from Pujitha, the opportunity is now.
Pujita, I have a questions. Actually, I'm just thinking which kind of a solution that I have to find. So, in IT industry, most of the employees are like the capable enough employees. They are demanding with their salary. So this kind of a situation, like if somebody is demanding, so and if I say, hey, please help me, I'll help you. So then whether that theory will work out.
Okay. So when you ask, help me to help you, so what could be the possible answers you might get it?
Probably, I can't imagine it.
So when you ask a help me to help you question, okay,
Yeah.
the person might say why he or she is asking to raise the salary. Okay, it could be a personal circumstances, it could be a something related to his profession, it could be number of things. So I think it's good to know the reason behind, what's the root cause.
Okay.
So one thing is you may be having challenging in terms of increasing the sudden salary, but also if that is employee that you want to keep it, then you can definitely do a sort of a benchmark. Now, how could I help that person? Because end of the day, it's when the employees are part of your growth as well, your growth journey.
Yeah.
So when you really understand what's the root cause in terms of asking for the salary increment, and if you think that is justifiable with the growth plans that you have, then probably it might give you much more better clarity in terms of taking a decision. It is not to say that you take the decision in favor of him or her, in favor of you, but at least you have a clarity.
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pujita, for the wonderful session. And since our time is running out, I will hand over to Temia to give the vote of thanks. Temia, are you?
Yes, I'm here. So first of all, I would like to thank Pujita Rajapaksa for taking this opportunity and our humble request to take up and do this session for us. And also thank you very much for the membership team and the members and the visitors for attending this session. Thank you very much.
Yes. So thank you everybody for participating. Any final remarks, if you all want to keep, you all can keep right now. Tilni, you want to make any comments on our next meeting?
Yeah, so thanks everyone for joining. I think it was a great session, Pujita, and I'm quite proud to have hosted this meeting with a guest who is one of our very own members as well. I think we do need sessions like this to keep ourselves motivated, especially at a time period like now. So definitely put together more webinars for you guys in the future. Follow our social media pages, Entrepreneurs Lanka. We are on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter. Stay tuned and stay updated with what is happening with Entrepreneurs Lanka. And if you're interested in becoming a member, you can attend to one of our coffee sessions or a general meeting, or reach out to one of us. Give us a buzz and we'll have a discussion. Thanks everyone.